You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada via www.hardtalkgrenada.com.
He saw that it was his son, who was pointing and laughing at him.
Hi, I am Emmeline Peer, Public Relations Officer of the New National Party. Making important decisions always difficult. But I made the wise choice to take my 2 COVID-19 shots. In making important decisions, it's always important to go back to the why. Why did I take my shots? I took my COVID-19 vaccine shots to protect myself and to protect everyone around me. But most importantly, to protect the people I love dearly.
Hi, I am Judd Cadet, President of the New National Party Youth Arm. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all aspects of our lives. It has disrupted our education, taking away the personal touch of classroom learning. It has displaced our brothers, sisters, as well as friends economically, and our social lives have been curtailed significantly. The truth is, we want our life back. We want to return to the days where we can hug each other again. We want to return to the days where we can socialize together again. Hence, I want to encourage you to roll up your sleeve and get vaccinated. Every shot brings us closer together. Every shot gives us an opportunity to defeat COVID-19. Let us play our part and get vaccinated.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
If you think safety rules are a pain, try having an accident. Drive safely. A message from the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the New National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada. A very special good morning to those of you joining us on the various radio stations, 97.5 CitysoundFM, 89.5 CRFM, 91.9 and 91.5 RealFM Radio, 92.9 Cicero Radio Broadcasting from Hillsborough, Carriacou, and 94.9 We Noise Radio out there in Brooklyn, New York. A very special good morning to those of you who are joining us on the live video stream, whether it's on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever you are joining us from this morning. A very special good morning to you. It is a beautiful Monday morning in the Spice Isle of Grenada. It's been a very productive weekend, a very interesting weekend, might I add. There has been a lot going on, a lot of incidents as well. I don't know what happened this weekend, but this weekend was maybe a little overly active, a little too active. So there were a lot of incidents. I heard of a few accidents, a fatality involving a driving fatality. So we definitely do have to be a lot more careful. A lot more careful. It's tough out there. I know we want to be able to go out. I know we want to be able to socialize. I know we want to be able to do all of these things, but we definitely do have to be careful. We'll take a short break and then we will be back in just a moment.
Hi, I am Emmeline Peer, Public Relations Officer of the New National Party. Making important decisions always difficult. But I made the wise choice to take my 2 COVID-19 shots. In making important decisions, it's always important to go back to the why. Why did I take my shots? I took my COVID-19 vaccine shots to protect myself and to protect everyone around me. But most importantly, to protect the people I love dearly.
Hi, I am Judd Cadet, President of the New National Party Youth Arm. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected all aspects of our lives. It has disrupted our education, taking away the personal touch of classroom learning. It has displaced our brothers, sisters, as well as friends economically, and our social lives have been curtailed significantly. The truth is, we want our life back. We want to return to the days where we can hug each other again. We want to return to the days where we can socialize together again. Hence, I want to encourage you to roll up your sleeve and get vaccinated. Every shot brings us closer together. Every shot gives us an opportunity to defeat COVID-19. Let us play our part and get vaccinated.
COVID-19.
All right, and we are back. And joining me in studio this morning is my co-host, Mr. Roland Bola. Good morning, Mr. Bola.
Good morning, Ms. Duncan, and good morning to all our listeners. But I must let the listeners know what you did to me this morning.
No.
I have to.
Did not do anything.
She came into studio and she locked the door. So, friends.
The door locked itself. I did not lock you out.
Yeah, okay. I just want you all to know that I am late because Ms. Duncan did not want my presence.
I did not
in the
do
studio
that
this morning, but be that as it may, I'm here and I want to wish everybody a happy Monday morning. Hope you had a really good weekend, that you got a chance for some sort of relaxation and probably some reflection too, because I think some of us need that and more of that. Because my understanding is that for this weekend, there was a whole lot of mass again in a lot of places.
Yes.
You know. And I mean, really and truly, I can understand that people want to vent a little bit, want to let off some steam. Probably some levels of frustration as well, having been more or less curtailed, isolated, locked down. You know, the activities that you are used to and did, you know, fairly regularly, they are not on again as they used to be, all due to the pandemic, due to COVID-19. But we have to be careful with what we do and how we do it. We need to really employ some discipline here. People have to recognize that the rules, the regulations, and so that are put in place are meant for their own protection, their own security. It's meant to protect the people of this country, not people of another country. In fact, I need and we like to give kudos to the government of Grenada, the Ministry of Health, and all of the frontline workers, whether you're in health or the police or wherever. The COVID-19 team, that team that sits ever so often, sometimes several times per day, they will call little caucuses and to discuss as new information becomes available.
Absolutely.
They continue to discuss and to put Grenada in perspective as to what should we do. All of the protocols and the changing of protocols from time to time is as a result of their discussion, the meeting of the minds, and looking at the situation around us and being able, people say you can gain experience from the things that you do or the things that happen to you. But you can also garner quite a bit of experience from what has happened to friends or people around you. Yes? You will know that fire burns, not only because you put your hand in the fire, but because your friend or your neighbor or somebody close to you did.
Yeah.
And they explained to you how tragic that experience was. So in other words, we don't always have to do it physically to get to understand it. So we see Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Anguilla, Barbados, Jamaica, Cuba. I mean, they're right in the neck of our woods. We don't have to go as far as India and Australia and London, England, because they had a lot of problems themselves. We are seeing what are happening right in the neck of our woods, so we can make decisions. So I want to compliment the people who constantly take on the information, listen to what is happening, viewing what is happening, researching, and taking forward certain decision to the authorities so that they can become regulations, not necessarily laws, but part of the protocol. So like it is now, because of the prevalence of the Delta Plus variant, which by all accounts and reports that we have had seem to be, from everything said about it, the most critical one that is out from since the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus, most critical variant. From all the mutilations that took place, they've said that variant is going to catch you how many times quicker than the others, and the symptoms are different, and there is a worrying concern now as to whether or not the present dose of vaccines that we have, whether they are fully capable or capable of fully dealing. They may slow it down from what all the reports are saying, but probably not fully capable of dealing with that variant. So we have to be careful, really careful. So as a result, the authorities in Grenada have moved to make a change again in terms of people traveling into the island, stating now that as of the end of this month, I think the 30th is the last, if you are not fully vaccinated and you are not a resident or a national of the country, you won't be allowed to travel to Grenada. Yes? In order for you to do so as a foreigner, you must be fully vaccinated. Again, trying to do or create the avenue for extra protection of our people. If you are a resident of the country, or you are a national of the country, you are a Grenadian by birth, or by whatever other means, you are allowed to return to your country, your place of birth, or the place where you have taken up residency or citizenship. You are allowed to travel in, but under the conditions that you have a PCR test done at least 72 hours before you travel, one done upon arrival, and that you will be quarantined for no less than, and mark my word, no less than 7 days. It can be more, but not less than 7 days because you're unvaccinated. In the case of vaccinated people who are also nationals, they stand a better chance in that they must do their PCR 72 hours at least before. They'll have to do one when they get here. But within 2 days maximum, probably 3 as the most.
I haven't heard anyone say 3. People have been very good with the 2.
With the 2, yes. You know, because there are times when information that has to be transmitted from one place to the next, for various reasons, don't always get to the intended destination at a time that is convenient enough to allow the people to be released within 24 hours. So why am I saying all of that, which are protocols and some people may already know? I'm saying all of that to come to this point. And there you have the authorities, the government, the Ministry of Health, the chief medical officer and others who are involved in the COVID-19 committee, doing everything that they believe is possible that they can do to bring added protection for the citizenry of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Yes, they include, meaning the committee and others, and the minister and others. But they're not doing that only to protect themselves and their family. They're doing it for the entire nation. And we must appreciate that, what they're doing. And there are those who may want to argue, well, it is their responsibility so to do. Of course it is their responsibility. And they are not applicating. They are living up to what is expected of them. They are doing what most of us would have expected them to do. And they are doing it in conjunction with all of the regulations of the WHO, right? They are not trying to infringe on the right of any other person. They are putting it in place. So just as they're saying, and they put the protocol in place to say, if you are a non-national, a non-resident, and you are not fully vaccinated, you haven't had both your shots, and have your documentation of proof that you have done so, you will not be allowed to come into the country. State of Grenada, right? How do you now compare that with an employer saying, if you are not fully vaccinated, it will be difficult for me to allow you to enter into our place of business, our place of work, for fear that you may contaminate others or contaminate customers. Right? I'm throwing that out there for people to think. So you say, and people have been calling and saying, well, the government need to control us. They need to close the borders. They need to whatever. Well, they are. They have not closed borders, but they have put the restriction tight enough and ensuring that every single person coming into Grenada through the legal means, because we believe, and the police have proven from the amount of persons that they have captured who have come through the chutes, who have come through under the radar, who have come through one of the little bays or on the shows without going through the legal channel where they can be quarantined. Yes? So the government is doing their part. Police officers are doing their part. What is our portion now as citizens of the country? And this is what was said to us. Look, the best thing we have now for protection throughout the world is vaccination. That is what is available. There's not a tablet. There's no other kind of medication. There's no skin cream that you can rub with. There's no inhaler that you can use. All that is available based on all the research that has been put into it, based on all the work done by scientists and medical experts, are the vaccines. Yes, there are a variety of them. We do not have them all in Grenada because we don't have that luxury. We don't have that ability as an underdeveloped country to purchase all of them and say, look, well, we have it. We have the Sinopharm, we have the Pfizer and the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson and the AstraZeneca and what have you, and the Sputnik from Russia. So we have all. I don't even remember the name of the one from Cuba, but it has just been approved, while the Cubans hopefully are trying to vaccinate the entire population.
Right. I think one was sovereign, or I can't remember the name.
Don't remember the name, and I'm
there's
guessing.
the one that was actually approved is 3 doses.
Yes, 3 doses. You have to get up this one, right? So more research. No, so I'm saying we are of having them all on the shelf and say, well, choose which one you want. What we have available is AstraZeneca. And it is not only available for Grenadians, it is available throughout the world. The whole of Europe, that is what they have been using. India, that is what they have been using. So many other Caribbean countries, that is what they've been using. So sometimes when people complain, well, the AstraZeneca ain't good. Well, it is what we have. It is the best known for us. It is what is available to us, right? So, as I was saying, what are the choices? Get vaxxed. Follow protocol still. So you got to wear your mask. The rudimental things that we knew from day one. Avoid a large crowd. Keep your distance as much as possible from another individual. Wash your hands very regular. Sanitize. So, if you see people with flu-like symptoms, be aware and things like that. That's what they're asking us to do. Yep. But why are we, as a people, demanding that the government do X, Y, Z, which they are trying? I'm not saying that they're perfect and that every single thing that they did is in the right place. Yes, there have been mistakes. They have dropped the ball in 1 or 2 places, but they have been by far doing very, very well. Are we, as the citizenry, doing very well? When we congregate every weekend and we play a mass, as they call it, we show our defiance to the regulations. Are we doing ourselves any good? When we decide that there's a curfew in place and by 12 o'clock we should all be at home, but we want to party and gyrate on one another and lime all over the place, and the police come and say, look, it's time to go. And we start throwing missiles at the police and attacking them and damaging their vehicles. Are we protecting ourselves that way? Are we showing any example for the younger ones? And some of us are the ones who go on radio programs and on television and talk about the youths and the rebellious ways that they have. But take a look in the mirror. Children leave what they learn. Are these the best examples? We always point at the politician, where they misstep, where they go wrong. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't point it out. It's good that we are able to, because that will cause us as politicians to do our best to stay on the correct track, because we know the eyes of the public is on us. Like Miss Duncan has her eyes glued to her computer at this moment. We have to know that as politicians, that the eyes of the public is on us. They're scrutinizing, and they are going to express themselves and talk about what they see. So we always have to try as much as possible, even if we don't feel like, do things correctly. But as citizens of this state, we also have a responsibility to do things proper, do things correct, ensure that we obey the regulations that are in place. Now, mind you, and I must bring in that point here, mind you, some people have been able to cite what I believe are some little loops in the regulations. Loops in that the police has a responsibility, as far as I know, in collaboration with the CMO in the Ministry of Health, to grant permission to people to have different functions. And they will specify, based on the function that you're having, what numbers that are acceptable for that function.
Outside of the regulations.
Outside of the regulations. So the regulation says 20 or 30 or what have you. You can apply based on what you're doing, where you're doing. They should do an inspection, and they will give you the guidelines. Yes? Right. Now, there are some activities that are happening where people do not apply at all. Mm-hmm. They don't speak to those in authority. They didn't send a letter to the police or so. That is wrong. It's going against the regulation. But the point I want to make here, even for those who have been given the permission, in my opinion, from what I have seen and from what I have heard, there seem not to be a proper enough scrutiny of what is actually taking place during those activities. So yes, you apply, you are granted permission, the police gave you all of the parameters in which you are supposed to operate in terms of numbers, what are the do's and don'ts. But do they physically show up at regular intervals to check and make sure that you are staying, you as the person who were given the permission, that you have a proper way of ensuring that things continue to operate as they requested of you? And I rather doubt, before you come in, Ms. Duncan, I rather doubt that is happening, because I have seen with my own eyes and I've heard many times of functions where permission was given and there seemed to be no control of the crowd. There are people not wearing any kind of protective mask. They are bulking up together. They are they're playing a mask, so to speak. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know that that is the intent of the permission. And two wrongs never make a right. It doesn't matter how wrong something may be happening on one side of the aisle. You go on the next side of the aisle and do wrong, it does not make it right. But there are some of the people are saying, well, listen, we're only playing a little job, or we're playing a little mass, a flower mass, or whatever. It's only 30 or 40 of us and the police want to stop. You are wrong. One, you didn't have permission. Two, the legislation for carnival speaks about the days when you can do revelry. So playing mass, playing whatever kind of mass at this time in the public domain is wrong. It's illegal. That is beside the point. But you are trying to claim that you're doing it because others are being given permission to do as they're doing. You cannot break the law and get away because another person did break the law and didn't get caught. So because a guy steal and he wasn't caught, does not give you authority. It doesn't make stealing legal. He wasn't caught by whatever means, and we can lament about that, we can talk about that, but you go in and commit the same act and get in caught. You can't then complain. A wrong is always a wrong. So I'm saying what I'm saying because I think the authorities need to take a second look. Whether it is the police that has full responsibility, whether it is the CM1, his team that has full responsibility, or a combination of both. Because that and how it is being done, and I am not now casting any aspersion on anyone. I don't believe, and I'm not saying that anyone is curry favoring, as we would say in local terms, any side over another or any person over another. I don't think so. I think that the opening is there for people to apply. And when the application goes in, they look at it, they look at the merits and demerits and determine that is feasible, that can work, and this cannot work. What I am really concerned about is when you do give the okay, and you do give authority, and you give the licensing to people, there must be a proper system in place of checks and balance. People, and most likely those are supposed to be the police officer, maybe along with some of the health wardens, I don't know what the combination can be, periodically must check the place, check and make sure that what is happening in that locality is what you expect to happen. And the way the function goes on is in a manner that does not bring any or create any kind of problem for those of us who feels that some people are more privileged than others. I don't like to hear it, and that is part of the reason why some people feel they must now take the law into their hands. You are wrong once you take the law into your hand. Complain, take it to whoever in authority. Let them know what you see. Tell them your observation, and let's take corrective action. And when you want to have a function, you likewise must apply and make it legal, whatever you will be doing. I mean, that's my 2 pence. Until I hear from you, Ms. Duncan, and probably it's Monday, open line as it is.
I feel like that was more than 2 pence. I found that was like $10.
Well, okay, you evaluate it and you say it's $10.
Mr. Bolo, you've said a lot this morning, and I just want to touch on a portion of that last piece of your delivery where you spoke about there being more vigilance, checking, implementation, by the police force to ensure that
I didn't say just the police. I said I don't know whether
but
it could be a
persons involved,
combination.
stakeholders,
Right.
to ensure
Because
that
you have environmental wardens, which are people who, is that what they call them? The people who go around and check doing the contact tracing. They normally wear a kind of little vest over
yeah, but
the
I don't
clothes.
think they have a name for them.
I don't know. I said environmental.
Not the environmental wardens. That's something different.
well, whatever they are. Health wardens. I
Health
think
wardens.
That's what they call them. Health wardens.
But Mr. Bola, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should be big people enough.
Well, we are.
We should be.
Mm-hmm.
To understand.
Well, we have not demonstrated that so far.
Right, we haven't demonstrated it.
I'm just commenting as you're going along.
But we should be big people enough to understand why things are being done the way they are being done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people who are doing these things, they understand. And what I believe is that it is a blatant provocation of law enforcement and the authorities involved to say that you say X, but we doing Y. Touch us if you're bad. Blatant provocation. Because I cannot see any other reason why you would understand that lives are being lost all over the world. COVID-19 is still very real around the world. Protocols are being put in place to keep us safe from COVID and all of these things. And yet, we have these sorts of activities happening without care or caution. It has to be outright provocation. Now, let's take, for example, what happened, I believe, in the area of Willis on Saturday or Sunday. Saw a video. And there were a lot of people there, reveling in their jab and going on as if it were carnival.
By the way, I understand that for this weekend's activity that we saw on video from Willis, New Hampshire area, they did apply for permission and was granted. That is hearsay from people involved.
But we definitely have to verify.
Been able to authenticate.
Because my issue is how do you determine, how do you control, how do you manage an event like that to only involve vaccinated people?
I have no answer to that.
So when Minister Boson made a comment in Parliament not too long ago that there should be no carnival activity whatsoever, people were up in arms, like activities. Yeah. People were up in arms and saying all sorts of things about the statement that he made, but not looking at it in context. In context of, and let's go back to last year. Last year, we tried it. There was the virtual soca monarch and all of that. And we, the same Grenadians who are now lambasting the minister for the representative for making that comment, said that there should be no carnival-like activities if it's only some people that could go.
I know.
We said that. Mm-hmm. We made those comments last year.
And some people still do it up till this time.
Exactly. So now that it's coming out, the same message coming out of the mouth of someone else, we have a problem with it. But when we look at it in the context in which he was speaking about it, if you grant some, you would have to grant all. And there is no possible way, Mr. Bola, to manage an activity like that in a manner where you are absolutely certain that only vaccinated persons can congregate within that area. But further from that, Mr. Bola, let's talk about how dangerous this thing is. Let's talk about how dangerous it is for a moment. Here we have a situation where a vaccinated person can still contract COVID-19. The possibility of a mutation of that virus within that vaccinated person is almost zero. The science, the verdict is still out on that. The ability of that vaccinated person to transfer the virus to an unvaccinated person, the verdict is also still out on that. So here we are saying, let the vaccinated people congregate. What if you are that vaccinated person that brings the virus home to your unvaccinated family members? Because remember, we're dealing with a society where not everybody in the home is going to make the same decision. And you can't force them to. That's what we are saying as a society. So why are we so hell-bent on wanting to have our cake and eat it? Why are we not understanding enough to say, I do not want to get vaccinated, I do not agree that I should get vaccinated, but these are the results of my decision, and I am okay with that because it is a decision that I have made as a consenting adult? Why can we not be okay with that? Why can we not say, okay, if I want to be able to do what I want to do for Carnival, then I must encourage all of the people around me to do same. Not force, but encourage. So we have a big problem around us where people are trying to ride the middle of the fence. They ain't even riding on either side. They ride in the middle. They themselves are vaccinated but will not encourage others to get vaccinated. But not encouraging is still okay, you know. But you have those that are vaccinated that are discouraging other people from getting vaccinated as well. I was privy to a conversation that was happening over the weekend where an individual said that the reason they're not getting vaccinated in Grenada is because there is no transparency, where other countries around the world are entitled to tell the people how many persons have died, but you're only hearing things by the way. The reason you're hearing things by the way because it is not something that is factual. If there are people who have died and it has been proven that it is a vaccination that has caused their death, it is up to the Ministry of Health of Grenada to report it not just to Grenadians, Mr. Bola. And that is what we don't understand. We feel so entitled to information that we feel that it is only shared amongst us. This kind of thing is not only shared amongst Grenadians. They have to report it to the public health authorities, PAHO. They have to report it to WHO. They have to report it to CAFA. So it's not just Grenada. So when we feel like information is being hidden from us because we hear Mr. John down the road say his daughter dead from COVID, not understanding that the daughter probably sick long before and or had some illness long before and died from that, or we cannot prove the fact that it's a vaccination that caused the death of somebody else, but we just feel because that person take the vaccine and they passed away shortly after that is a vaccine that killed them, failing to realize that there are sicknesses before and there will be sicknesses after COVID and after vaccination. And we have to, Mr. Bola, understand. We have to understand, and I don't know how much we can express this again, that we have to be careful where we get our information, how the information comes to us, and what we allow ourselves to believe as a people. If you have no statistical data, no facts that can prove that somebody has died in Grenada, WHO has not reported it, CAFA has not reported it, PAHO has not reported it, but yet we, the internal pseudo-doctors within Grenada, know for sure, because we were there in the mortuary when they were doing the autopsy. So we know for a fact that it is a vaccine that killed that person. So we out there just spreading a set of nonsense and then talking about there's no transparency in Grenada, but people dying from the vaccine. Who are these people that have died from the vaccine? That is what I want to know.
Invisible people. We're not seeing them. But you know, you raised a point. You said something that brought the thought, and later on in your discourse, you did mention the difficulty, because I put it out when I said we need passing, we need supervision, we need people to be on the spot, people to ensure that the protocols are being followed. Two things that I did not say that I have to add with it. One, I honestly believe that whoever engineer those activities, and most of them are like, they resemble carnival-like activities.
Yep.
It's always the gathering of people. There's music, there's alcohol, there's dancing, there's fetting. So it sort of mimics a carnival-like atmosphere. Why isn't there some mandatory piece in the regulations that says if Roland Bowler is to organize a function of that nature and is seeking permission, one of the conditionalities must be that he, as the event holder, must be fully vaccinated. And whoever else is going to be operating with him or co-hosting that event should be vaccinated. I just see no reason why. Because that the people should not be. Because here we are saying that so far, the world over has accepted it. PAHO, WHO, CARFA, all health organizations. If you go on the website and you check, they all have agreed that our only chance as we speak, available to the world now, to help control, to help deal with, to help reduce the incidence of hospitalization, deaths, and further down the line, COVID as a pandemic, is vaccination. Yeah. So there must be, in my opinion, just as the committee had looked at and has partnered with Lottery Authority and CBN and whoever else to say there's a lottery draw. I think it was some lady, I don't know from which part of the island. Belmont, who had won it, the 10,000. So you're giving people encouragement. I believe in order to get a permission to do that, we should ensure that all those involved in the hosting of the event should be vaccinated. That's one. And secondly, if an assessment is being done, and I believe the time is right for an assessment of these activities to be done. I'm talking about a serious assessment. I'm not talking about no bias thing because of friendship or anything. Get people with the ideas, with the ability, with the time and the willingness to do it, to look at this thing thoroughly, make an assessment, show us the loopholes. And if we figure out as the authorities that we are not in a position to properly manage, to man, to inspect, and to ensure that things happen within the remit of the of what is being prescribed, then we should cut everything else off.
But that's what I'm saying.
I know you said it. That's why I'm repeating it. Stop it totally. But I don't believe we should just stop it for stopping's sake. I believe there need to be a proper reassessment of what's happening. Have qualified people put pen to paper, go out there and physically look at the activities and what they see happening and tell us the potential of these activities to help the spread and to create disaster for Grenada. You see, we always take things at surface level in this country and everything is okay once something bad doesn't happen. Yeah. Right? We go with things. And the moment something bad happens, everyone pull their hands off and they say, oh, well, the government didn't do this and the police should have known better and what the Ministry of Health was doing all the time. No, we happy. Give permission. We want to lime. We want to jam. And of course, as a human being, we are social beings. That is in our DNA. It's only a few people, a selective few, that can leave us hermits, just sit around all day and all night by themselves, go up somewhere in the mountain, live in a cave. The vast majority of humanity wants to socialize. They want flesh to touch flesh. They want to interact with people. Yeah. They want to be speaking and liming and knocking a glass and having fun. That is in our DNA. That's how we have been wired. Yeah. And so I fully understand that great desire. But let me ask the question. Is it worth closing a casket forever with many of us lying in it and sealing off the tomb or covering a grave for a couple hours? For a couple hours of what we call joy and enjoyment? It was just like when the AIDS virus was out, the question was being asked. What is it worth? A few moments of pleasure for a lifetime of misery? Is it worth having to lie in a hospital bed with an oxygen mask on your face, gasping for breath, and wondering and worrying whether or not you will survive the day or the night? Just because we want an hour or two to jam on a boomsy? I mean, we really have to stop this foolishness of attaching and giving everything a political label and start thinking about ourselves, our family, and our country in a very sensible way, in an open way where we can be rational with each other, where we can give right where right is deserving to go and wrong where wrong is. It is about time we stop looking at who the Prime Minister is and what he said and what the Minister of Health said, and look at what are we doing and saying and the examples we are showing, and whether or not we are doing the things that will bring total or at least some semblance of protection for ourselves and our families.
We have to start looking at the message and not the messenger. I think that's what the problem is. Because we are so politically charged as a people, sometimes we fail to hear the message and we see the messenger. And it's a sad and a dangerous game that we are playing as a people. We are testing God's mercy on us as a nation. We are testing the blessings that we have received as a people.
Take it for granted.
We have taken it fully for granted. You see, it is easy to say, put more restrictions, put more protocols in place when you are sitting on the side of the fence that is not affected by these things. It is easy to say, don't get vaccinated, because if you are not vaccinated, it doesn't affect you directly. It is easy to say, don't listen to what they have to say for your political gain. Because at the end of the day, all you are concerned about is getting into administrative power. And what will be sad, and it's going to happen, it's only a matter of time until it does. What is sad, or is going to be sad, is when there is an actual outbreak. The most vocal of them will do two things. They will either find a way to blame it on government, or they will become silent. Because that is how we operate as a people. Once I don't get any mileage from an incident or an issue, whether it be political or otherwise, I am unbothered. I am quiet. I am silent. My voice will never be heard. But let it be something that I am able to get some sort of political mileage from, where I'm able to benefit, where I'm able to make my opponents seem less than or incapable of, then I am the loudest, regardless of how many lives I am affecting in the process of doing so. And that is the dangerous game that we are playing.
Well, I hear you. I think you and I had said quite a bit for the morning. And so now we want to invite callers. We want to hear your side of this whole scenario. It's unfolding right before our eyes. It's happening right in your community. You may be one that supports it. You may be someone that's against it. But what's your views? What do you think the authorities should do? You know, I am not saying that anyone is right or wrong. I'm just saying that we need to be careful. So you can reach us at 440-7377, 440-7377, or you can send us a WhatsApp, give us a WhatsApp call or WhatsApp message at that number. If you are in the diaspora, you're calling from overseas, it's 347-329-3101, 347-329-3101. Have your say. What do you believe? Should we continue giving permission to some people? Should we continue trying to stop those who are doing it like mass and reveling? Or should we reassess? Or should we just stop everything together? There's a caller online.
Yes,
good morning, caller.
On the line. Good
Hello?
morning.
Pleasant good morning.
Good morning. Happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Bowler.
Yes.
You there?
Yes, we're here. We're hearing you loud and clear.
My phone might cut off on me.
Okay, so say what you have to say.
However,
Yes.
yesterday, I remember asking the question about the guys and them and the girls, how they was behaving in the road.
Yes.
However, it was told to me that there were police on the scene, and after a long while, then that the police and them left, and then a next set came in. So that is what I know as far as that is concerned, because they got
Permission?
Permission.
I've heard so.
Right? Yes. So they were there on the scene there with the revelers, or how you may call them.
I heard something different though.
Yeah, but
She lives in the area.
they got vaccine. I don't know about the vaccine, if they got or they did not. But all I wanted to know, why nobody had called the police. My granddaughters, that they take the tablet and they say they go dog and they go to flip it, and after they will bring it to the police station. So they was doing PR too.
Okay.
So therefore is when they said they saw the amount of police there.
That was present, okay.
Yes. So that kind of changed their mind. The little 10-year-old
Right.
was doing PR for us.
Okay. Wonderful.
So then the only thing is the vaccine, I don't know. But the distancing and all that, I understand that was taken care of for a while.
Oh, they in their revelry, they were distancing themselves.
They didn't jam up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
I stand still corrected because
Right.
I was not
You
there.
was not there. That's what you learned.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to call about twice or three times because I wanted to say what I was.
Well, you got your opportunity, and we're happy to hear you.
As soon as I hear it's time for,
Yes.
I call the number. I can't wait until all you pick up.
Yes.
You understand?
Wonderful. Wonderful.
But I'm not into these things and them, eh?
Yes, I know that. I know you are not a
Regardless to
person.
what, I'm not into those things and them. But if the others will take a page of that, get what they have to get and stuff like that. I'm not encouraging it, you know.
Right.
But I still say they behave better than the others that tone down vehicles and stuff
And all
like
those
that.
things, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and they were given a time to cut off,
To cut off.
which they did.
Oh, good.
You understand?
Good. Yes. Yeah.
So maybe somebody else maybe have a different story, but that's what I was told because I found out, I ask questions.
Right.
You understand? Because we don't want no COVID coming by village.
By the way, having said that, have you done your vaccination yet?
Pardon?
No, I said, as you have said that, have you done your vaccination?
That is yet. But I have a 19-year-old. He's encouraging me because why? He was saying same things like what you all are saying, educating me, not the older one. It's that particular 19-year-old one. So he say he going to take it, so anytime he going, I'll be going with him.
All right, great. You should do that. They are in the stadium almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You just walk in. You need to bring some kind of identification.
I have that.
That's all they need from you, and get it. You know, it's important that we do, because we are looking. I look at the international news sometime at night, and I just want to break down and cry sometimes. You know.
Because sometime at 12 o'clock, I'll be listening also.
Yes.
What I was asking, my card is time for next one and next one. So I was asking if I could use my NIS.
Yes, they accept that as well. They accept the NIS side, yes.
Right, so that will be fine.
Yes.
I'm just waiting on an opportunity so I could go to get my ID as well.
Right. Please do, Please do.
It's a very long time I travel and I don't got no passport. Yes. And I don't think I'm going to look for passport now.
Not now.
I'm not so sure what about the time I have right now.
Don't worry. God is good. God is good. Get your vaccine. Continue to pray. Continue to talk. And continue to encourage whoever friends and relatives that you have. We can't talk about it too much. Some people take more time than others to make their mind up. But we need to always give them an encouraging word and let them know why it is important that they should.
Yeah, as my son helps educate me.
Yes.
Then I'll do what I can.
We appreciate that.
Who I speak to already, they already done that.
Yeah. Well, you know, you keep doing your best.
Yes,
keep doing your best.
God bless him. But what I wanted to ask you, do I have to work with my marriage certificate and my birth paper again?
No,
I don't think that's necessary.
Oh. I'm talking about
for the ID?
To do the ID.
Are you carrying on the old one, are you carrying your husband's surname?
Yes, I am.
Right. So you may just need to work with it for verification.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have that in my little poster.
Right. Your birth certificate, your marriage certificate to renew the ID may be necessary. They just may take a copy for verification, but it's a quick process.
Yes, thank you. And all you take care.
You be good too, and thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, all you are welcome, Miss
Duncan.
Oh, you're heavy on it, lady. You're heavy on it. Continue. I mean, the passion within you and how you express yourself.
Thank
God
you.
will always continue. I say Mr. Bola not doing a good
No. I don't feel jealous for giving Miss Duncan kudos, you know. This is her program. I'm just a co-host. She can kick me out that chair anytime she wants and bring anybody else here.
I wouldn't.
It have times when you listen that some of them give you more credit than Miss.
Yep.
I know. Sometimes they do.
So, yes.
But she makes a lot of very interesting and important points too. She analyzes the things, and so when she on a roll, I give her a chance. I sit by as a student and I just listen. Yes.
But you know, she makes me think.
Yes.
I could remember when Senator Scott was there.
Yes.
How he used to go in things in depth.
Right.
Maybe they're studying the same school?
You never know, you know. You never know.
I know.
They're keeping their business secret.
But don't can I ask you the question. Is that true?
No. We didn't go to the same school.
Oh my God. It seems to do a lot of researching and a lot of reading and stuff like that, and that's so much. Right now with my granddaughters, I say mandatory. All they got to read for me every evening.
Yep.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
Now they will be going to secondary school after this. Yes.
The next time around, yes. Yeah.
So grandma listening and watch me, grandma getting educated too by the children reading for her.
I know.
So when I start speaking words, I think like excelente.
Stuff
like that. They say, grandma, hey. Grandma, don't you see that?
But it's good. I am happy that you raised that point because sometimes with all of what is happening at the moment and all of the hype and, this carnival-like activities and the COVID in the air and everybody talking about it, sometimes we miss some of these things. The children, what about their education? Are we encouraging them to continue to read, to continue to do their schoolwork? Who is supervising that? Who is checking on that? It may just get lost in, in all of these emotions. So it's very very good that you're making them do that. Continue and encourage others. Always talk to other friends and relatives and say, listen, while we are taking care of all these other things, which is important, it is of vital importance as well that we spend a little time with the children.
Apart from that and their reading, I tell them, put underline words.
Yes.
That they're also familiar with.
Yes, and look up in the dictionary.
When they finish, look up the dictionary for the meaning, and I'm going to call on them at the end of the week.
Yes.
Yep.
You understand?
That's good.
So, I'm trying.
That's
Do your
good.
best.
You're doing well.
Don't worry.
We are happy for you.
Shortly I'll be a teacher too.
Nothing is wrong with having your goals set and having your ambitions right there.
In my own right, because right now in my home is 2 teachers I've got, one in the preschool, one in the secondary.
Okay. So you need a primary school teacher now. You go take that position.
I need a primary school, but the other 2 boys, they're so familiar, and the bigger one in Mason, up to masonry.
Okay.
So, but the other 2, one prefer for agriculture.
Yes.
And the other one is looking for something to do right presently.
Okay.
Yeah, because he finished MCC right now.
All right.
Yes, I hope, even though, I don't know if Ms. Duncan could help me out.
Well, we could talk about that.
Yes, well, you get the number coming up on the screen, so you could always give me a little buzz.
I will.
Yes, thanks so much.
All right.
Well, you take care again.
Bye-bye now. Have a good one. Take care.
Yes, I think somebody has a chance.
Yes.
All right.
Later.
Right.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, yeah, friends, the lines are open. It is your opportunity to tell us your piece. Tell us what you think about what's happening, about the fact that, well, we understand and we accept that it has gone through Parliament. There'll be no carnival this year again. It's postponed until hopefully next year, hoping that there will be an improvement in the situation. So let's have you. Let us allow you to
I'll tell you what I heard, Mr. Bull. I heard that there were police officers there, but they were told not to engage.
I don't know.
And which is why I made the comment about blatant provocation of.
Right. So there's another caller online. Let's say good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning, Brother Bola.
Good morning.
Do you know what I call instant lock or deadlock?
An instant
lock or deadlock?
A deadlock. Well, the word deadlock does be used in different scenarios. Sometimes when some people trying to come to an agreement or something and they can't agree, they say, well, the talks are in deadlock. Okay. Sometimes in wrestling, when a man...
well, I'm here to defend Miss Duncan this morning.
You're defending her?
Yes. What do you say? Somebody lock you out of the lock door?
Oh!
I didn't lock him out of the
She did, because no, what I was going to tell you before you're coming, when you're wrestling, there's also a deadlock, but on those, they just have what they call a deadbolt, not a deadlock.
Go close the lock immediately.
Miss Duncan locked me out.
No, I did not lock you out. Stop telling the people that.
No. You just close the wind, close the door. And
Thank you, Mr. Mills. The wind closed the door and it locked. Thanks,
that door does always be closed but not locked. As soon as she come inside and she sit down in the studio, I
close the door and he locked.
Okay. A fellow who came from England one time told me, a lot of years ago, I was still a young boy. He said, let me tell you something. The laws in England are very strict, you know. He said women have all the right.
You know this song?
Children after, and then dogs, you know.
But you know this song? I could see you wrong a corner.
Yes, and here from distance away, all you this kayak and them that are sing that in Parang, I could see you wrong the corner, and here from distance away.
Yes,
careful what you're doing.
That is why I see the wind close the door.
There we go, you see?
Yeah, well, you're a kayak, so you go see that.
Anyway, you all have a nice day.
Blessings to you, Mr. Mills. You take care of yourself on a Monday morning.
You too, buddy.
All right.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, I don't know. Like I said, I have not been able to authenticate the information so far. 2 or 3 individuals from the same community indicated to me that as opposed to other weekends when they were mass playing
right
this weekend, they did apply for permission.
Right.
Mind you, sometime during the course of last week, because the weekend before, there were the same kind of carnival-like activities, job and what have you. And there were a couple of senior police officers who went into the community and they spoke with a lot of the revelers, so the people involved in it, right?
Right.
They communicated with them. They sort of, I don't want to say it was a meeting. It was more
touching base.
Touching base, if we can call that. Several of them, they spoke to the people, promised there would be no arrests, and whatever the conversation entailed. I also heard that days after, though, another set came and distributed some tickets to people, like how you do.
Right, stuff.
Wherever that story is leading, we need to follow it up and find out what is happening.
Yes.
So I don't know. There's another caller there?
Yes.
Good morning, caller. Sorry for having you waiting. Good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Is that real hard talk?
Yes, it is. And you're live.
Huh?
Yes, it is, and you are live on radio. You are live on air.
All right, you have to listen to us on the phone and not on the radio because there's a delay.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, listen to us on the phone and not on the radio because there is a delay.
I'm calling to say, I want to ask a question first. What is the meaning of jab?
Well, we understand that the word jab is broken French. That's my understanding, and it means devil.
Yeah.
That's what I have learned over the years. I've never gone further into the
little girl.
Yes.
I know they say jab mean devil.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find now is that as if we turn in the place into a devil place, because you say the government say they passed the law that no carnival, but yet still for us the only mass they want to play is jab. That's the only mass they want to play, you know. All these other mass it does have. I'm not a mass person. I doesn't go in carnival. Years because I'm an old woman. Years I doesn't go in carnival. I don't interested in carnival. But what I want to know, why is only jab they want to play? When you say no carnival, I feel when you say no, I feel you must mean no. That is telling a child not to do that.
Yes.
Don't do it, and you still allowing the child to do the wrong thing.
Yes.
So I feel, I don't know, you know, but I feel when you say no, you must mean no.
Yes.
And stay on no. Don't let them play jab. Some play jab, and some don't play jab. This devilish thing. I don't know, you know, but that is how I feel.
That's how you feel. That's your views.
Yeah, that is my view. I feel you say no, and
it must be no.
Not tell, just speaking to a child and you tell the child no, and yet for the child come back and do it, and you don't say nothing.
Nothing, yes.
Yes. So no should mean no.
Okay. Yeah.
Because yesterday he had jab all around my area.
That's where's your area? Where do you live?
In Hermitage.
Hermitage, okay. All right, good.
In Carriacou had
jab yesterday. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we hear you.
So I that is my view about it. No should mean no. So
all right.
Mr. Bola and Ms. Duncan, you have a God bless day.
We thank you too, and thank you for your contribution. All right, great. Yep. Well, you know, that's the view of that individual. No should mean no activities, no carnival-like activities. And that's what we're saying. Re-examine what's happening. Re-examine. Get a group of people. Look at it. Because, you know, depending on what you do, it can have social implication. Some things have financial implication. Others have security implication. We can even add political implication if we wish. But we need to weigh everything. Everything must operate with a balance.
Yeah.
You know, life doesn't go one way. That's why there's up and there's down. There's positive and there's negative. There's truth and there's falsehood. Everything has its opposite. So I think the minds, the people who have analytical minds, not like my mind, I have a simple mind probably, but the analytical minds must look at what is really happening. Look at what the social implications will be on this thing. Look at what the political implications, the financial implications. How does it affect the youthful people? Because sometimes we make broad statements. Oh, well, the youths are in the majority. Of course they are. And the youths are frustrated. What makes us believe they are frustrated? And who told us that the only thing to deal with their frustration will be playing, this carnival-like things every weekend? We need to be more analytical, and we need to bring the facts to the people, why something is bad at this time, why it will be better next time, and so, because as the last caller said, if we have said no, we should mean no, and we should give our rationale for it. We do have another caller online. Can we take that call? It may be an overseas call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Hard Talk. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday morning to you.
Same to you, my brother and my adopted daughter, Miss Duncan.
Yes.
Listen, you made a profound statement that has been going through my head.
Yes.
That somehow they have to verify whatever organization, whatever authority should verify.
Mm-hmm.
I know Willis very well.
Yes.
I know the people are very nice people. But a lot of people, as far as I heard, went into Willis yesterday. A lot of them were not Willis people.
Okay.
So I don't know how they could verify if something's going on in Willis and, the people have to be vaccinated or what. I'm puzzled.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes a lot of the people are not the village people alone.
Mm-hmm.
There are other people from other villages in there. They are strangers to the village, wherever around Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So I hope they will listen to your call and have some more verification.
Yes.
When a person or a group is given the go-ahead, that we should be able to monitor that in a better way. Take care and have a wonderful day, my adopted daughter and my brother.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your call again.
And Mr. Bola, that's a very important point. And it was, as I was saying earlier, it is almost impossible to control a situation like that, where and I understand the need to ensure that people are properly can socialize and can be given some level of freedom, because it has been a rough year, and you would want to do that for your people. But is it worth the risk? And that is the important question. Is the need to please people, because that's basically what you're doing. Eh? You're trying to appease persons. Is the need to appease people worth that kind of a risk? Because here you have an individual saying that the people who are or were part of, or some of the people who are part of this activity do not reside in the village, and that is not impossible to believe, because here you have people saying, watch, we playing jab in with this Sunday in a come down. Yes, the Ministry of Health has approved that only vaccinated people can do so, but the environment in which they had the activity, how can you then verify that all of the people partaking are vaccinated individuals? And that is why I'm saying it is a difficult thing to manage. So if you are saying no, your no must be no. Your no can be no but yes.
No for some and yes
no for some and yes for some. Let's take, for example, WeiVybz. WeiVybz is having an event coming up very soon, where vaccinated individuals would have an opportunity to be involved in an all-inclusive fit. Now, this is something that can be easily managed, because you have these people in a closed or an enclosed environment where there is one point of entry and one point of exit. Or it may have more than one point of entry. But these points of entries are managed. So it's easy to verify, okay, you have your ticket. Let me see, are you vaccinated? Yes, you can go in. And everybody inside there is enjoying themselves because they themselves know, okay, we are all vaccinated. But in an environment like what happened over the weekend, how can you now verify that somebody didn't come down from the track on top the hill and join in that wasn't vaccinated? Or somebody didn't ride in with everybody else that, and mixed and mingled? It is difficult to manage. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Duncan.
Hi, good morning, Miss Cammy.
And good morning to Mr. Bola.
Morning, Miss Cammy. Very well, Miss Cammy, very well.
I went to church on Sunday,
Very good.
That's good.
Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Bola.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know how true it is. I was not there, but everybody saying a young lady going in the street to jump she 2 children.
Yes, I just read that.
Right. So I did ask one of the reporters, and she said that a man had time to take them friend. I thank God this morning. I thank God that God was in the midst to save these 2 children.
Yeah.
I want to appeal to the mothers and the fathers in Grenada to pray a little more.
Yes.
Pray a little more than this hatred we have for each other. When I heard the bishop speak yesterday, and he speak about all these things, we need to pray more, Mr. Bola.
Yes, we do.
You understand?
Yes.
He had too much hatred in Grenada. Look again with the chopping. Young men, put down the cutlass. Put down the cutlass, please. I'm begging. As a mother with 5 children, and when I hear these things that I was worried with my son, that are children out there.
Yeah.
Please, I'm pleading to y'all this morning. Please, all you put on this cutlass. People does not fight hand to hand again to cut somebody. They're using cutlass. Please. And when this thing happens, there is such ignorant people that's walking around the city here. Hard time.
Yes.
Mr. Bola, pay a man $20 yesterday. And to take breadfruit.
Yes, that you're giving away this morning. I heard you.
Give away everyone.
I heard you.
I could get $5 so on. I could get $6. So I don't know what these ignorant people will say. People hungry in Grenada. And they blame everything that happened in Grenada. They jump on the poor prime minister. Boy, that man has to go through it.
But what about when they doing whatever they do and they making the children and they doing what? Where the prime minister does be?
You understand me, Mr. Bola? Mr. Bola?
Yes.
In my time when I was making my children.
Yes.
I used to clean people's houses.
Right.
In town here for $10 a month.
Yes.
I'm going to clean and wash for people just to get my children get food. To get them to get close to go to school. And there was no help.
Yeah.
They're getting help from the government today.
Yes.
They're getting money for bus. They're getting books. They're still getting $300 when the month up. I didn't get in that.
Not a thing you got.
I used to clean and wash people's clothes. The lady there, I'm gone. I used to wash clothes. $10 she gives me a month.
Yes.
You understand? And I send all my children to school. I make salmon ball. I make sugar cake. And I used to walk around the city, all in the ministries. They're getting all this help. A young man saying hard time in Grenada.
Well,
you understand?
Yeah.
I said that bad-minded people in this country. What? Listen to me. Anytime the Prime Minister say I had enough,
yes,
a lot of people they go eat the bread the devil need.
Yes.
And they go always calling him. We must not be ungrateful with the hand that feed us.
We shouldn't be.
A lot of them that have a lot of things saying about Kit Mitchell right now. He held them to go to school. They get all their degree. They get all the big jobs, and now you have the worst thing to say. If you don't want, if you don't like him, have nothing to say in the public.
Yeah.
Because everybody know everybody in Grenada. And there's a lot of people that know you used to go to school, and you have nothing good to say. God's going to punish these people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
God's going to punish them. There is a God.
There is.
Because it is clearly the children to children. But God put a man there to save these children. That's why I want them to know this morning. And I don't say what none of them say about me. Or the person cost me. Person provoke me. But I know there is a God. And the Prime Minister is a good man. Decide what? Decide what? You will make mistakes. All of us in Grenada. All who never made a mistake in Grenada. Fairly us to.
Yes.
Fairly us to.
He who is without sin.
Yes. I'm watching them on Channel 10.
Yes.
That man must was a lawyer. And he condemning everybody.
Yes.
All the union man and them.
Yes.
That want power. And say no kind of thing. All you go and pray. Go down with sackcloth and ash and pray. And leave the Prime Minister alone. Or pray for him. If you know he doing anything wrong, pray for him. That man have a mother. And I know she doesn't watch the news.
Yes.
And the thing that I say is hurting that woman. He just hurt her because she's a child. You understand?
Yes.
These people are not easy in Grenada. And they say them is Christian. Them is pastor. They them is pastor, you know.
The pastor doing it too?
They're preaching all of them. All of them, when they can get what they want, they have nothing good to say. I watch Cuba. I watch even Florida chanting. Something wrong with us here. So I appealing to all hearing. Go down in sackcloth and ash and start to pray for your country.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Have a good one yourself.
Thank you. I've been
All right.
Money no see money.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
We have a few comments on the live video that I want to read, and then I want to share something with the general public. One individual is saying, "Good morning. I think it should be done in the way WeiVybz is doing his event. It should be indoors and on entry vaccination. Proof should be shown. Absolutely." Someone is saying, "Good morning. I remember growing up, jab early in the morning." Another individual is saying, don't matter what the authorities say, some people will play their jab because they are getting prompts from some haters thinking that they are doing Dr. Mitchell a bad. And that's very unfortunate. Someone is saying this jab situation is becoming ridiculous. It's almost like they are challenging the police. I see them as a rebellious group. Someone is saying again to Miss Cammy, amen. And another individual is saying, Miss Cammy, they got a taste in 2008. Don't worry. They will get a full dose this time. I don't want that because then I go be part of the people that are suffering and I don't deserve to suffer.
Well, I am not even sure what that is about. Who got a taste and the food?
Oh, the individuals who suffered in 2008. You remember that period? That's a hard period to forget. It's almost as hard to forget as Ivan.
Okay. No, I'm just getting. I was lost a little bit. I thought it was a specific thing.
I want to share with us something really good that has happened. It's actually a massive milestone for us here in Grenada in the field of agriculture, Mr. Bola. And for those of you on the live video looking, I'm going to put up
maximize that kind of technology and the climate smart agriculture, as we say, you need vast expanse of flatlands. Yes, but wherever it can work, wherever we can feed them, they are a necessity now in farming. Because the climatic conditions have changed so drastic that farmers no longer can predict the weather pattern. There was an era when people knew definitely we can plant today or we can plant this week because we will get rain in such time, or we can plant whatever variety because for the next month there will be rain, and for another variety when the sunlight will be greater. But it's very, very hard to predict nowadays because of the advent of global warming, climate change, and man is 90% responsible for the kind of changes in the weather pattern. There's the atmospheric changes that we have. A lot of the products that we use, a lot of the invention and advancement trying to make a life more and more comfortable for human survival. That in and of itself has released certain gases that has been damaging now the ozone layer for years, causing the earth to heat up much faster and remaining hot for a longer period. And so of balancing nature as it was, it's a whole ecological change that can be discussed, and hopefully with what is being done through the COP, the Conference of the Parties. Every year they do meet and discuss and trying to put limits on greenhouse gas emission, which is what is in most instances responsible for the Earth global warming, as we say. I think I'm seeing...
We do have a caller,
yes. We do. Yes, good morning, caller. Welcome to Hard Talk.
Good morning, Mr. Bowler.
Morning, and how are you?
To your I can't say your co. To your host?
Yeah, the host.
Morning.
The host. I am the co.
I am the co.
Or you can say the boss of the program.
There we go.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Yeah, put them in front sometimes. You can secure them when they be in the back, eh?
You can, okay, I hear you. I hear you.
We only secure them.
I hear you.
Yeah, because next time when you have them in front of you and turn back, they disappear.
Okay.
So when they interrupt, they take place.
Okay.
All right.
I hear you.
Yeah. Mr. Bola, sometimes I listen to people complain about the 2 days holiday that the government redraw. Right? I ask myself the question, what all look nice about the 2 days holiday people clamoring for is to see, go and jump up and play jab?
Yeah.
Is that what
well, they play other mass too, not just jab.
Play other mass?
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask myself the question again, as adults, responsible adults, parents, what are we setting for our children to disobey authority? Because one thing I remember, the Ten Commandments was there to put mankind in line the way they should live. But when Christ came, he did not abolish it. He still lived there. And all countries governed by laws.
Yes.
We can't say we are Christians when we disobey the law of the land. We have to obey. The only difference is the Ten Commandments give us salvation. So Christ came and he died for us. That if we accept it, we go have a life. But we have to obey the law of the land.
Yeah.
So how could we want to say we be responsible parents? Right? And when the government passes laws, we disobey it.
Yes.
But when we give all others to our children, they disobey. You want to discipline them? That cannot work. We have to live by example.
Of course.
We have to live by example. So when go and say no carnival, why no carnival? We take away 2 days holiday. You still go in and play. I want to play jab and play other mass. Right? I don't look at the benefit of it. 2 days holiday, jump up, play that kind of mass. Okay, you go home back, you go back 2 days over, as we just say, after the carnival over. You still need a brighter day. Right? And some of the things that people who are clever to play math, they are trying to go into school. They are just buy uniform, they are buy school books, shoe. Right? And they don't know where the money coming from. Because you know what some people, that was Mr. Bola and Mr. Duncan. If there's carnival in 2019 there was carnival.
Yes.
By the time the day after carnival over, they saved up for carnival.
Right.
Next year. But you know they hardly want to save up some money to put aside for the train, for the school, by the uniform, by the school shoe. So when you look at the priorities is pleasure over the family. You understand? And that pleasure is just short term.
Yes.
So after you come back over 2 days, you go home. You're sick. You don't have money. The same person who give you advice and tell you to stay home, stay away from this big crowd, you disobey them. It is the same set of people that have to come back, right? When the enemy has well, and to look after you.
Yeah.
Right? You don't come everything hard in the morning, but then you put your life in danger, put your family in danger, and the whole community in danger. And when they could have a spread. Like I was saying to people, like, if people come in away and they come in and they quarantine them, we could contain that. But when you have a community spread, it is difficult.
And dangerous.
And dangerous. So I call upon people, oh my God, obey. Obey. And if we obey, and by now, Mr. Bola, if people take heed to the call, I think the country will open back again.
In full, yeah. By now we have 60 or 70,000 people that fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. And
most likely they could have been carnival. And you have the restriction of non-vaccinated people cannot come in. Yeah, that may have helped us a whole lot.
So sometimes I ask myself how we thinking sometimes.
Yes.
Right? And they say wisdom is key, knowledge is power.
Yes.
But in all, get understanding.
All right.
And if anything, if you're doing something and you don't understand it, it will look difficult.
Yes.
But when you doing something you understand it, it becomes easy.
Yep.
Right to understand.
Yep.
So Mr. Bola, Ms. Duncan, you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, we may be able to take one more call.
Wisdom, understanding.
Yep. That's those are the key words, especially in this time. Wisdom and understanding. And
acquiring knowledge.
Acquiring knowledge. Let's take that call. That'll be our last call for today. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hola.
Morning.
You are Winston Soso in St. Vincent update, right?
No, I didn't hear that yet.
Oh, well, I hear that.
I didn't hear that. He was a good Calypsonian.
Very good, yeah.
Yes.
He was my good Calypsonian.
Yeah, Winston Soso. Can't remember one of the Calypsos song for me to sing it for Miss Duncan, but you know, she's too young to know about Winston Soso.
Probably.
And Alston Cyrus Beckett.
Probably too young for that. Yeah. And that was a short call, Mr. Bola. So maybe we could take another one while making closing remarks.
If there's another one, do you have anything online that you just want to?
Oh, there is the fogging schedule, Mr. Bola. Before I forget, the fogging schedule for this week on Monday, which is today, 19th of July, they will be in the True Blue area, including the St. George's School of Medicine. On Tuesday, the 20th, they would be at the True Blue area again, including the Coast Guard and its environs. On Wednesday, they'll be in Telescope, and on Thursday, the 22nd, they'll be in the town of Grenville. All of these fogging sessions would begin at 5 p.m. Please do remember that if you are in the area and you have respiratory conditions, that you are asked to either vacate the area or to at least inform the persons doing the fogging. Remember to leave your doors and your windows open so that the fog can pass throughout your home. And of course, this fogging operation is targeted to lessen on the amount of Aedes aegypti mosquitoes that we have in our environment, those mosquitoes that cause the dengue hemorrhagic fever. So please keep that in mind. And remember, we're in the rainy season, so the responsibility is not just on the Ministry of the Environment to ensure that they fog, but it's also our responsibility to ensure that our surrounding areas are cleaned, so that we don't have places collecting water where water is settling. If you have a drain or a river or ravine that you know is settling and you are unable to do it, you can call the Ministry of Works, let them, or the Ministry of the Environment. I do believe they have environmental wardens that they may be able to dispatch in your area.
Environmental wardens do work with the Ministry of Works.
Of Works, right.
Not the environment. And this people who sent you that is from the Ministry of Health. But they are in the environmental division. And there's also the Ministry of Environment, which is a totally different thing that deals with climate change and rising sea levels and some of the things that we have been talking about earlier on that I've made mention of. So it's kind of a little puzzling when you say environment. Well, all that environment should go under the Ministry of Environment, but no.
But I'm sure whichever one you're calling under to
but there's the Ministry of Health that has the environmental division that deals with all of the fogging and they have these people that go through the day and put these little tablets, the medication.
Chlorine tablets.
If you have tubs and cans with water around and, spray the environment of the house, and then you have the fogging unit which falls under their jurisdiction as well. But as you were correctly saying, it is not just left to the ministry. If we really want good control and probably total eradication of mosquito, not just the Aedes aegypti, but all mosquitoes for that matter, we need to do more for ourselves in our own little corner in terms of making sure that drains are open and they can run. Even our guttering on the side of the house that collects the runoff from the galvanized, sometimes they get clogged up with leaves and other things as the wind blow that fly and clog them up, and they store water at times. So periodically we need to get a ladder and somebody, because if you are at an age already, I don't expect you to be climbing, but get a ladder and have someone just climb and look at them. Sometimes they need to be cleared, they need to be washed out so that the water can flow and no water remains in it, clogging it up and helping to create breathing space for the mosquitoes. Coconut shells, cans and tins and other utensils around the house, we need to really pick them up, get rid of them in the proper manner, dump them in the proper place, have them taken up by the trucks, dispose of them well so that they don't stay around and create breeding sites for more and more mosquito. We complain and we say, the ministry need to come and fog, they need to spray. But the moment they spray, because we have an environment where that is encouraging and very conducive for mosquito growth and population, we'll always have mosquito on it. Cut the tall bushes, all those little things are things that we can do to help ourselves and to help the ministry and to make sure that the mosquito population reduces, as well as we need to get our vaccine, keep our social distancing, wear our masks, stay away from major crowds, keep our 6 feet distance to reduce the incidence and possibilities of we catching COVID and becoming severely ill or probably even dying as a result. We make that appeal and we say to people, listen, while we have, a real sympathy and an understanding of, the levels of frustration that some of us may be going through, taking the law into our own hand, misbehaving, being disrespectful, challenging the police, threatening the politicians is not what will solve the situation. It will not make the situation better. If anything, it can escalate the problem and make things worse. And I really again, and this occasion again, want to compliment the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the hierarchy of the police for being able to stay the course, keep their patience, observe but not engage. And that doesn't mean that they are afraid of or that they will not someday engage. But in the meantime, they are trying as much as possible to allow good sense to prevail and to use dialogue as the means of getting through to some of us who are solely intent on breaking the law, or allowing other people who have been encouraging us, as one of the callers say, a lot of it may well be encouragement from other people who are vying for political power and position and using some of these innocent minds to break the law and to get the police and the authority. Thanks to the Royal Grenada Police Force for not engaging so far, for not implementing or or employing the full force of the law on some of the people. And I want to make the final appeal to our people. Let us act responsibly and sensible. Now, I fully understand when some of you complain and say we want a moment to free up ourselves. But there's always a right and a wrong way in doing everything. We can always get along and get what we want if we only follow the regulations, we follow the protocols, we do things properly. Yeah. Yes, we don't have to be deviant. We don't have to be lawbreakers. We don't have to show that because we're youthful, that our youthful exuberance can take control. Let our intellect always be in charge. Because remember, at the end of it all, we have to continue to live. Our young people are our present and our future. Our senior people is our past, our present, and can still be our future. Let us as adults show example and encourage people to do the correct things in the correct way. I believe we can get along irrespective of which political organization we want to support. Right will always be right, wrong will always be wrong, irrespective of who do it, where we do it, or at what time we do it.
Yeah.
Let us try to stay on the safe side of things. Let us try to be disciplined. Let us try to be responsible. Let us obey the protocols, obey the laws of the land, and let us do things correct, even in a time when we don't feel like doing it.
Yep.
It is always best to do what is right. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I do hope that we will speak again for this week. I don't know. Tomorrow should be post-carb, and then there's some work that has to happen in our studio.
Yes, we are going to be doing some upgrades and so on. So I don't think that we would be on for the remainder of the week. This may be the last live program until next Monday, but we will keep you updated. Please follow us on Facebook for any updates on what our plans are. But we do have some upgrades coming, so that would kind of hinder us for the remainder of the week in having a live program. But guys, we have come to the end of our program for today, and as we say here every day, in whatever you say and whatever you do, be safe and be secure. We always want to be talking with you, but we do not ever want to be talking about you. So please do enjoy the remainder of your day. Stay safe and be always responsible in what you do. It's been a pleasure, guys.
You're listening to Hard Talk Grenada via www.hardtalkgrenada.com.